this is ridiculous.
Yes, these are painful statistics for anybody who has suffered at the hands of people who shouldn't even be here. And one of the stats showed that the Eritreans and the Afghans were 20 times more likely to commit a sexual crime than the indigenous population. That in fact, although they only represent 9% of the country, 25% of the sexual crimes are carried out by these mainly illegal and/or illegal migrants. We have enough problems in our country. We have enough shocking crimes in our country without having to allow in even more people to our nation without our ability to send anybody back. And this is an issue which can't seem to be solved by either the Conservative Party, as we saw under 14 years of lamentable behaviour, or by the Labour Party, who talk about smashing the gangs. And as I've pointed out on more than one occasion, they couldn't even smash potatoes. They are both hopeless. Is there a party strength in our country that will one day deal with the fact that our women are being abused in this way?
Tessa.
Have you missed me?
Yes, very much. Delighted to have you back on.
I've replaced you with somebody else elsewhere, but I've come in this evening to correct you, because I do feel sometimes when you see a statistic being bandied about exclusively by GB News and the Telegraph, you have to immediately feel suspicious. This was a Freedom of Information...
You're becoming a conspiracy theorist.
No, this was a Freedom of Information inquiry on behalf, I believe, of the Telegraph, which you've picked up, and they went to the Home Office directly targeting foreign nationals to find out what the stats were. The reason why these statistics have to be treated with a large dose of salt is because it's not comparing like with like. You could argue, and the headline would be much more accurate, that all violent crime against women is committed by men aged between 18 and 60.
But this is the Centre for Migration Control,
right,
and it's based on people who have been convicted, which is really important, and it's then looking at their nationality.
But it's not like for like.
If they're foreign, they shouldn't be here.
But the point is, you can then start the process. If somebody has conducted themselves illegally and reprehensibly, you can start the process to deport them, and you can keep them under heavy surveillance until they're convicted. However, it's not fair to say, 25% of these are violent criminals, and look, they only make up 9% of the population, because we know that migrants, foreign nationals, tend to be almost exclusively males, not exclusively, 60% are males, and 80% are of that working age, and it's men of a working age who are much more likely to convict heinous sexual crimes. So you're not comparing like for like. A white man of 80 is very unlikely to be committing a sexual offence, ditto a migrant of 80, because there are very few of them.
OK, but if you're taking that argument, then surely we should be keeping them out anyway, because they're higher risk.
Well, keep it... Well, except
we should have a much tighter control of migration.
Except we require their economic heft because of the way in which our economy is structured.
Regardless of which way you look at this, a number of women are being assaulted, right, who wouldn't be assaulted if these people weren't here. So the argument in the first place has to be, we don't want you here, and if you have got yourself here illegally, we indeed are going to try and get rid of you. My issue is, how are we going to do that, right? And so it's terrible. There'll be people probably watching this show tonight who actually have suffered in some way, and they're saying to themselves, well, what are we? We have suffered. What are you politicians, Jacob and the like, what are they going to do about it? And what can we do? We can't seem to send them back to Afghanistan. We can't send them back to Eritrea. They throw away their passports. They throw away everything. So we have no way of knowing. And if they say, well, actually, we came from so-and-so, we have no proof. These are massive issues for us.